Today's adventure begins, and pretty much is going to be in Celebration, Florida. As the recording of this, it is December 28th, a Thursday, 2023. Standing here on the corner of Lake Reinhardt, behind the Celebration Hotel. This is going to be my last official day renting an apartment right downtown Celebration. Gonna finish cleaning it up today. Got everything moved out as of yesterday. Now I gotta clean up just a little bit, turn in the keys. No longer renting my one-bedroom small apartment right off of Market Street. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Not only am I excited to be handing in the keys today and excited about the future, moving on to bigger and better things, if you will, there's a little bit of a sadness when you leave a place that you've been in for 3 years. 3 years, I put a little asterisk next to there because 2 years I was in there without being bi-coastal. 1 year, the first year, so I moved in the middle of December 3 years ago. That first year, I had a place out in Anaheim, had some roommates. They moved into my spot, and then the whole story. That ended, and after being a year out there and a year out here going coast to coast, just settled on here for a year. So in a lot of ways, this is the end of that scenario when I handed my keys to this place and moving along to the next spot. I'm inviting you to join me, as always, shall you? I'm also kind of ready to have this move be done, over and done with. Talking about the bi-coastal thing, because when I did move, I had a little time to get my stuff out. In fact, when I moved from Hollywood down to Anaheim, talking about even stepping back a little bit further, I had like a month to move. This time I had over a month. I had like 5 weeks to move, so it really was not too stressful as far as getting it done, but just kind of, you know, weight off your shoulders when you finally know one place has been removed and you could focus 100% attention on the new spot. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. A little dreary and overcast here in town today. Going by Avocado's Mexican Grill and up to Starbucks where I mobile ordered a coffee. I love mobile order. Oh, there's a bird right there. Don't be startled, bird. Don't fly away. You know you want to say, you not want to say hi. Yes, my time in downtown, living in downtown Celebration, coming to an end today. Had a good time being right down here for those 3 years. And I'm still going to be very, very close to this, but I'm not going to be able to just walk out my door and pop over to the Starbucks without a little bit of a commute. But I'm staying in Central Florida, staying in Celebration. More on that, a lot more on that very, very soon. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about how and why I ended up moving back to Florida, even though I didn't really think I ever would end up back in Florida. Here I am. Life is weird sometimes, and life is all about... Oh, there's a dog down there drinking from the water. Yeah, just simple choices on what you do, who you know, things you do, tasks you take upon, jobs you have, the way you live your life and decisions you made. Just the simplest little thing can alter the course and the trajectory of life itself and the way your mind works. I'm maybe getting a little too deep, and I'm definitely not like trying to get philosophical on it, but it's just very interesting how all that, just the littlest things, can somehow alter what happens. I mean, just the simplest things. And obviously the events of 2020 had a big hand in me moving back here. In fact, I had a place, well, originally I was living in Orange, California, 2015 into 16. Then I moved away from there, did the RV thing for a year. Then I moved to Hollywood for 2 years. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in Hollywood. I'm closer to Disneyland in Orange County. So I moved down to Anaheim for about another 2 years, give or take. I don't know. I'm trying to, the math is, you know, give or take a few months. But I was there for a couple of years. And when everything in California started to really not be open, I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. I want to go to places that are open. It kind of stretched on a little too long for my liking. So I ended up, I'm gonna get a place here in Florida. Also, there are a lot of apartments and condos around here. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of them throughout the entire town of Celebration. So not just downtown, and the whole footprint of Celebration is just massive. Again, more on that over time, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the reasons why I moved here versus not being a Californian. And I feel like if the situation would have been a little different, just a little bit different. Like if I would have kept my place in Anaheim, not had a roommate, not done the bi-coastal, thinking, oh, I'm gonna have, because originally I was gonna have the place out here for maybe like a year. Things were gonna go back to quote unquote normal, whatever that means. And then I would give the place up here after a year, maybe 2 years of the lease, go back to SoCal. And that didn't really work out that way. And in fact, because of the reason of the shutdowns out in SoCal, well, all of California, and there really wasn't a whole heck of a lot to do. I still remember vividly the time after a few months of things happening, went to downtown Disney out there, and all of a sudden they said, you cannot buy a bottle of water and take a sip of a bottle of water without leaving the property, going back to your car. If you want to buy, I think, some popcorn, the parks weren't even open. This is downtown Disney. You want to buy some popcorn, you got to go back to your car at the parking lot before entering back through the checkpoints for downtown Disney. Now, granted, this was months after everything kind of started to culminate. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Florida where the parks are open. That was mid-December 2020. So that was what, 9 months, 8 months, 7 months after everything was really in full swing? You know, they kind of started stepping back a bit. I thought, I don't want to step back, I want to move forward. So I still vividly remember, flew out here, was coming out here for the holidays to film Christmas stuff and spend time with my parents for Christmas that year. Hope I'm getting the right year. I think it was December of 20. Yeah, it was, because that was 3 years ago. Ended up looking at an apartment here. Looked at it, said, I want this one. Immediately signed the lease and did the bi-coastal thing for a year. And I didn't realize how, you know, things were going to kind of end up out in Anaheim. And then when the partnership, relationship, roommate situation did not work out, and I had a half-empty place out there, I just said, you know what, heck it. I got the place out here. Let me just go to Florida. So I have a lot of those thoughts and memories in my head. And then after being here, obviously I travel a lot, but after being in this town, I really started to have a newfound appreciation and kind of rekindle my love of Florida once again, which I did not have before. Because when I was out in California, I love California. I love Southern California. I mean, I love LA, I love Burbank, I love Pasadena, I love Anaheim, I love Orange County. And I'll always be going out there. It's really easy for me to hop on a flight to MCO, out to LAX or to John Wayne or anything like that. I will always continuously be out there multiple times a year. Sometimes maybe even for long periods of time. I don't know where I was going with that, but just basically just wanted to say that I am not against going out there, because I love it out there, but just something about kind of rekindling my roots of Florida. My parents moved here in 1991. Of course, I obviously had moved with them. I was 17 years old. We moved to St. Cloud. My dad started preaching at a church there. And I've kind of been in and out of the area ever since. Obviously coming back to visit, or, you know, some of the first places I ever lived when I first started working, getting a job, becoming an adult, and living in places all around St. Cloud and Kissimmee and Celebration. I mean, that's recent years, but you know what I'm saying. Again, though, as I was stating about the what ifs, you know, what if certain things did not happen? You know, in that certain year, things could be considerably different. If I did not already have the place, the bi-coastal place, I would have just stayed out there. I most likely would have already stayed out there. And I mean, I don't know. You could maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe if the situation was different. Maybe if I would have stayed in the place by myself and not had the co-joined apartment with others, and then also got the place out here. Because if I did not already have someone else helping out at my place there, then I probably would not have been inclined to get the place here, because that wouldn't have made much sense. But it did make sense at the time. I don't know what I'm showing, but it did make sense at the time because I could be gone, I would have somebody watch over the place, which was a positive thing. And that's why I got the place here. And then when that kind of fell through, I had the place here. Anyway, no more what ifs. Granted, everyone has their own decisions. Everyone can do what they want. And obviously, I'm not gonna let anything deter me from doing something. I'm just very impulsive. I guess what I'm trying to say is just the littlest slight detour of something on decisions made by yourself or even others can really alter when you have an impulsive mind like myself, that can really alter things because I am really impulsive. More on that to come. And when you combine impulsiveness with circumstances and certain things that you are in the middle of, decisions could be swayed and altered differently than they would be. I'm making no sense. I like making decisions, even though they're impulsive, sometimes good. I like making good decisions, but I also like making really bad decisions because sometimes those bad decisions formulate into good decisions later that you would not be in a position to make those good decisions if you had not made the bad decision to begin with. I'm going deep. Well, this is it, the last official day living right downtown. Main Street USA, I like to refer to this as Celebrations Main Street USA. Obviously this town was built by Disney, no longer owned by the Disney Corporation anymore. But they built it as the perfect small town. The clock tower, or not clock tower, but the clock over there that I always show is right over there by the bank. The post office right over there. This very unique building. All these buildings built by different architects. It's gonna be nice not parking in the cluster F, if you know what I mean, of December and even Halloween into December parking over near where my apartment was. Rest of the year, not 10 months out of the year, it's fine. And I was up on the upper level, so I wasn't on the ground floor, which made it kind of difficult when I wanted to pull the bicycle down. I had to go down flights of stairs, which that's fine. I mean, it's good to get your steps in and all that. But I'll tell you, the moving during this time has been a little tedious with not being able to park near the apartment to move, but it's all done now. It's all done. Such a beautiful town. I mean, just amazing the fact that, I mean, also I think about this. Well, I'm thinking about this. When I decided to move back here, I looked at a couple apartment complexes near Walt Disney World, decided against those. There was one or two that I actually went and looked at, and one in particular, I ended up talking to the leasing manager, almost decided against that. Then I thought about, what about downtown Kissimmee? What about downtown Orlando? What about going back to downtown St. Cloud? And then it hit me, what the heck, man? What about Celebration? And other than the couple months of tedious parking, those 3 years, truthfully, everything else was an awesome experience being down here. Oh, this is the parking situation. You can see people have to kind of double park, even to run in and get something, because the regular parking lot over here is filled up. Granted, you can park a block or two away at other public lots right now, and it's not too bad. But if you want to get right up to move something, or to go in, take some groceries in or something like that, sometimes it's a hike. For example, you know, all these lots are filled up. Someone double parked right there. Someone double parked right there. Even a worker can't find a spot. So if you were living here or living over there, again, mostly December is the problem, and October, Halloween and Christmas. In fact, I don't even have my car in this lot. I had to park over in the next surrounding lots a block away just so I could walk over here to clean and turn my keys in. Still having memories back when I came to look at the apartment. Met the realtor right down here. 3 years goes by quick, but at the same time, it seems like longer, but it also seems like less. It almost seems like yesterday, but it seems like 10 years ago at the same time. I'm not making any sense today. One thing that really made me happy being down here is each Christmas. I'm also kind of echoey because I'm right here in the hallway, kind of looking down at the staircase. But anytime they do the Snope, I could always hear the music cues at 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I could always hear everyone laughing, having a good time with their family, the snow falling right down here. Pretty dang awesome. Always made me happy. Kind of noisy, but yeah. Noisy down here. Such a great area. But it was a good kind of noise. It was the kind of noise that made you happy. It's kind of like when you can hear fireworks. You know, I lived in Anaheim, I could hear and see the Disneyland fireworks from my room balcony. And you knew what time it was. I always know what time it was by the falling of the Snope announcement on Market Street, whether it was 6, 7, 8, or 9. I mean, it had to be one of those hours, but. And you just peek out the window and you walk out on the balcony, like, man, this is really freaking cool being down here. I always wanted to know if that's like a little porch up there, or what that is. You got the birds up there. Got my cleaning supplies already there. Of course, I got my coffee. It's also interesting when you have a place, when you get all the furniture out of a place, how echoey it is. How furniture, when there's furniture in a place, it really does stop the echo-ness. This reminds me a lot when I first walked in, when I moved in here. I moved in here with nothing, just one bag. And it kind of, obviously I didn't even have the cleaning supplies here at that time, but it kind of has the bare bones look on how it was when I moved in. Got to get to sweeping, mopping, cleaning up, dusting, scrubbing. That was my room down at the end there. It was just a little place. It was just a living room, a little kitchen, bathroom, closet. How do you call it, a walk-in closet in the bedroom. And then 2 closets here in the hallway, 2 small closets, and a washer and dryer in unit, which was really nice. I like this echo though. Hello! Goodbye! Had a lot of good memories in here. It also seems a lot smaller when there's not anything in it. The TV was over here, couch was over here. There's a few things in the cupboards and on top of the cupboards, but just having the living room empty like this, it seems smaller. It's weird how stuff makes things seem big. Things seem bigger when in reality they're the same size. Things that make you go, This was that walk-in closet I was talking about, which was nice because there was plenty of room to put some clothes up here. I had all these shelves full of stuff. It's amazing how much you can kind of cram into an area if need be. That was to utilize it, and this was the bedroom here. Kind of looking out, had 2 windows. Best part was having an in-unit washer and dryer, which I did not have over in Anaheim. Something to be said. One of the simple pleasures in life is having an in-unit washer and dryer. No matter how small your place is, it's definitely a perk. I'm getting a little sad now. I'm getting a little nostalgic. I don't say sad's not the right word. But I can hear the hustle and bustle of downtown right behind these windows. Moving on to other things. Very positive. Better things. Stepping up quite a notch, if you will. More on that. But just, kind of somber when you think about thoughts. 3 years of memories. I'm 49 years old, so 3 years is really nothing in the grand scheme of things, but that's a chunk of my life. Even though I was probably only here half the time because I'm always traveling, maybe even less than half, you know what I'm saying? So let's say a year and a half, 3 of those years I was here. Anyway, it's echoey. One of my all-time favorite shows, sitcoms anyways, Three's Company, or even favorite shows for that matter. And that final episode, when they moved out of the apartment, always gets me. I always tear up a little bit. Not that I'm in that same situation, nor am I Jack Tripper. But you kind of get the same idea. But anytime you're in a place and you share memories and thoughts and life, and then you have to move along from that. I don't know, I just kind of always think of that last Three's Company episode. I kind of wish they would have just ended the last episode with them walking out the door and turning the lights off, but looking at the empty apartment kind of always makes me get a little misty-eyed. And obviously I'm not going to shed a tear over this place because it was just a short 3 years, and again, I traveled a lot in it, but I did share a lot of memories and made a lot of moments in here, and it's just a piece of my life. I didn't mean to go down a Three's Company rabbit hole, but anyway. Go turn the keys in now. Say goodbye to this apartment forever. And on to future wonderful things. Sometimes I think I'm a little too nostalgic for my own good. That's probably not a bad thing, but I always love looking forward to the future and planning things and trying to progress and accomplish things. Think about what's going to happen in a year, 5 years, 10 years, planning for that kind of stuff. And even though I am pretty impulsive, I usually do have some sort of a game plan. But I definitely dwell on the past a lot. More of a nostalgia thing. I don't think... I'll try to explain that, but it's more of a nostalgia thing more than, oh, I wish I could go back to those times. But I definitely look back at good and bad times fondly. These are the 3 items I'm taking with me. All I need is this broom, this plunger, this dustpan. I already moved everything else. Next time we'll be parking in here is when I just come drive over here to visit. All right, accomplished. Keys have been turned in. Mailbox key turned in. Filled out the paperwork. It's done. One thing it was interesting when I was standing there at the door looking at the empty apartment. One thing I always do when I travel, because I travel a lot, and I travel pretty light, and I always want to make sure I have everything that I need. As far as camera, batteries, wallet, keys, laptop, you know, all that kind of, just everything and anything that you need when you're traveling. Clothes. And I will open a door to look into an apartment or homestead about 10 times, and I'll walk back in, make sure all the lights are off, make sure all the water's off, make sure the oven's off, you know, just stuff like that. I'll do that over and over and over, and I kind of did that when I was leaving as well. Just force a habit. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, but moving on. I ordered another coffee, going with the second piping hot caffeinated beverage. The other one I was preoccupied with cleaning and everything. It was a little lukewarm. It wasn't as piping hot by the end, so I'm gonna get another one. Plus that was a while back. It took me a little while in there to get everything done. A lot of birds in these trees. And this works out perfectly. It looks like Cool is over there. I see a little group of people with Cool. I'm gonna say hi to Cool real quick and just let him know that I turned my keys in. Yeah, there he is, right over there. I'll still be seeing this little guy. I'll still be seeing him. I just won't be a neighbor. I stated that yesterday, but this is the last day. He's making eye contact. Take a look. Okay, maybe not. No, he's unhappy that I'm leaving. He wants me to be around downtown. He wants me to be still a neighbor. I'm not going that far. I'll still come pop in occasionally and see it cool. Now, if we could just figure what the heck is going on with this theater. Ooh, they got signs up. These signs were not here. This says, ooh, do not enter. Now the other day, well, a couple weeks ago I was here, my friend World of Micah, he was in town, and we walked over here. We noticed that someone has sprayed some of the fire extinguishers around. Evidently, the door was open, and someone got inside and grabbed the fire extinguishers. You can even see some of the fire extinguisher stuff there on the ground. I want to see this place open again. I really do. I really want to see this place open. Yeah, look at Chucky and Mickey on the back of this car right here. It's an interesting combo. Signs, signs. Everywhere is signs. I think someone wrote a song like that once. Over here at the Water Tower Plaza now. I need to get a bicycle pump. I have a bicycle pump on my bike. Haven't ridden my bike in a while. I think I'm gonna start riding my bike a little more. But I have a pump that attaches to the frame of the bike, a small one. I want to get a bigger pump that I can have next to the bike. That way I can pump it up before going out on bike rides, and then use the one pump that's there on the frame in case I need it. I think a bigger pump would come in handy. Nothing to do with the rest of the video, but I just want to throw that in there because I'm here at the water tower. I'm gonna walk through this parking lot to get to the bike shop. I should come back tomorrow. They got free crab tomorrow. Heck yeah. I do like crab. Free crab sounds really good, but it's not today. Free crab tomorrow. All right, $37, $38 later. I got this one here. What was it called? A park tool. $36.99. Got a little pump there. Got both nozzles. Should be good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna put this to good use soon. That's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.